Welcome everyone. My name is Farai Makutuya. This is the IPEC Forum, a program where we unpack issues to do with pensions and insurance and empower you with the knowledge to protect your financial future. This is the third episode of this forum, and today we are focusing on market conduct and how insurance companies are treating policyholders and what is being done to ensure fairness, transparency, and accountability. Mr. Sibongile Siwela, the Director of Insurance Supervision at IPEC, is my guest today. Ma'am, it is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you for having me, Farai.
Fantastic. Let's get straight into the discussion. We know that one of IPEC's key mandates is market conduct supervision. Could you break that down for us? What do we mean when we talk about market conduct, and what exactly do you do?
So market conduct refers to the behavior of insurers in the marketplace, especially in relationship to how the insurers treat the policyholders. It relates to treating customers fairly. It relates to product transparency in the products that they offer to the market. It relates to settlement of claims, ensuring that claims are settled timely in the market. It also relates to ethical behavior of insurers in the marketplace. It is a key focus for us in the Commission. We actually have two market conduct departments, one in the insurance department and the other in the pensions departments, just to ensure that customers are not unfairly treated. Mm-hmm. It is also important to us because it directly impacts confidence and trust in the marketplace.
Indeed. I mean, we'll get into more detail about some of these issues you've spoken about, but how do you go about this? Or typically, how do you get this feedback to know that this is how the players are conducting themselves?
Okay. In the Commission, we also have a complaints unit that basically receives and attends to complaints from the marketplace, from policyholders. These complaints generally give us an indication where there are problems. Mm-hmm. And in most cases, we'll engage the insurers just to verify the facts. And in some cases, issues will be resolved at the first instance. But there are also occasions where we'll conduct on-site or off-site inspections just to ensure the financial soundness of the company. Once we do that, we will come up with findings, which findings are then issued as a way of a corrective order to companies for them to correct areas of concern that IPEC could have identified.
Indeed. When you were giving a breakdown of market conduct earlier, you did raise the issue of settlement of claims as one of the key issues. And, we often hear people complaining about delayed payments or even non-payments of claims by insurance companies. Mm-hmm. What are you as IPEC doing about this?
Okay. We are aware of some complaints that have come to us in terms of claim settlements being delayed by insurers. And we have engaged these companies. But over and above the engagements, we also issued out Circular 3 of 2024, which basically sets out the timelines for settlement of claims. So Circular 3 of 2024 says insurers must communicate within 7 days of receiving all the requirements of claim settlement from the policyholder. They must then be able to communicate their decision, whether it's a valid claim and they're paying a claim, and they're settling that claim within 7 days. And the payment must actually happen within 7 days within 3 days after communication. So the claim settlement must happen 3 days after
They have communicated.
they have communicated.
So anything beyond that is unacceptable?
Anything beyond that is unacceptable. It is a delay. Yeah. However, having said that, we also recognize that sometimes there are complex claims that arise, claims that cannot be verified urgently or quickly within the set timelines, claims that need further and expert investigations. This may take time to make a decision on. In such circumstances, we encourage the insurer to communicate regularly with the policyholder on the steps that they are taking.
When you were talking just now, you also then said insurance companies should communicate if they're going to pay the claim or not. Under what circumstances would they not pay?
Okay. When processing claims, there are valid and not valid claims. Sometimes there are reasons why a claim is not valid. For instance, insurance is a promise between two parties. One party promises that they will pay premiums on a regular basis as agreed. It could be monthly, quarterly, half yearly, or annual. And the other party also agrees to say, if you pay these premiums, I will settle your claim in the event of a risk happening. So in instances where a policyholder has not been paying premiums, the insurer may not pay the claim. Yes,
because I have not lived up to my end of the bargain.
Yes, because basically we're saying the policyholder has not maintained his end of the contract. Remember, insurance is contractual. Yeah. Okay. So in such cases, the insurer may not pay a claim because the policyholder has not been settling, has not been paying premiums. Yeah.
All right.
And then the other instance is that policies sometimes come with exclusions. Yeah. That is to say, I will cover this risk, this risk, that risk, but I will not cover the following risks. Those are called exclusions. I'll give an example of maybe a life insurance where maybe an insurer can say, I will cover your life, but will not cover a death as a result of a pandemic, for instance. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So in such circumstances, again, the insurer may not settle the claim.
Indeed.
And of course, there are also fraudulent claims that can come through. And the insurer may decide not to settle a fraudulent claim.
Okay. I think what I'm picking up from all this is the importance of just, as you said, it's a relationship, a promise between two parties. So
correct.
That communication up front to say, to make me aware as a policyholder that this I will do, this I won't, these are the terms and conditions of your contract.
Yes. Crucial. Insurers will usually communicate these things in writing. But what we've seen is that sometimes policyholders do not take time to read the policy and understand its terms and conditions. Yeah. So that tends to create misunderstanding at the time of the claim. Yes.
You mentioned something very interesting about fraudulent claims. How serious a problem is that in our market?
I wouldn't say it's too serious, but yes, there are attempts to, yes.
And at the end of the day, I think the message is these things can be found out. You can be sifted out and it's easy to sort of identify.
I must say that insurers carry out thorough investigations at the time of claims. And if there's an attempt to make a fraudulent claim, they usually pick that out.
One of the things or complaints that has also come through, or concerns that have come through from policyholders, is where some insurance companies are paying out claims in installments. That's strange, isn't it?
Yes, we have received some complaints of that nature, and we are, as a commission, we are concerned. And as and when we receive such complaints, we take them very seriously, and we engage the insurers concerned. It's not the expectation from us. Insurers are in the business of paying claims, so we expect them to pay claims in full. So to members of the public, if an insurer offers to settle a claim in installments, we encourage them to report such cases to us so that we immediately take steps to investigate the entity concerned.
I think perhaps the form of insurance that most Zimbabweans will be familiar with is third-party motor insurance. And again, it's also an area where a lot of concern, people suggesting that claims are not being paid. What's your view on that?
Okay, so third-party motor vehicle insurance is a mandatory insurance offered through the Road Traffic Act. It's insurance that pays against the liabilities of the policyholder. It does not pay the policyholder. It pays the third party. I'll give examples here. If you bump into someone else's car, you're driving, and you hit somebody else also driving, the third party insurance will settle that person and not your car. They will carry out repairs
on the person that I've bumped into.
Yes. The other example is that if you hit a pedestrian, so the third-party insurance will pay medical fees for the person that you hit. Yeah. So, and similarly, if you maybe damage somebody else's property, you hit somebody's house or Jurawol, third-party motor vehicle insurance settles that person whose property you have damaged and not your vehicle. Yes. So the misunderstanding comes in maybe alignment of knowledge. Policyholders are not aware of how third-party works. They are not aware of how they should claim, where they should claim, where it happens. Most of them believe that third-party insurance is part of licensing requirements.
Only, and it doesn't
only,
really
and it ends there. And some of them will not even claim when they're involved in an accident. Some of them will engage the other party maybe to make a payment out of their pockets, which is not necessary. Yeah. So it says to us there's need for market awareness, there is need for education in the market, and we implore insurers to carry out education awareness. We will also, as the regulator, do our part to conduct similar awareness in the market.
Some of those, perhaps, we said don't bother to claim. Could it also be an issue of the fact that what is then being paid out is so low? It doesn't actually meet what is required to repair the third party's vehicle.
Yeah, currently, maybe if I can talk to the figures, the premium for third party is $35, and the benefit is at $2,000 for death, for disability, and for property. So each of those have a benefit of $2,000. Again, it is determined by the Road Traffic Act, which determines the tariff of $35. And yes. But over and above third-party insurance, policyholders are also free to consider taking comprehensive insurance, which covers everything.
Indeed.
Yeah.
We need to take a short break, Mrs. Siwela, but we want to come back and continue this discussion. When we return, we'll be talking about funeral policies and why you should be diligent about signing up with a licensed entity. Stay tuned. The IPEC Forum returns shortly. Welcome back. This is the IPEC Forum. Mrs. Siwela, obviously before we went to the break, we were talking about issues of third-party insurance, market conduct, very important. But again, something else which I think is also important because it is a form of insurance that many Zimbabweans will also be familiar with and possibly subscribed to, and that is the issue of funeral assurance and funeral policies. There have been concerns that there are a number of unlicensed entities offering funeral assurance policies. What is IPEC doing about this? How rife is it, first of all, and what are you doing about it?
We are aware as IPEC of the existence of unlicensed entities in the market. And in the past, working with law enforcement agents, we have taken some of these illegal entities to court. It is illegal to operate an insurance company without licensing. It is very difficult at the time of claims, particularly where a policyholder is treated unfairly, for IPEC to then step in, because we don't deal with illegal entities. We would like all entities that want to venture into funeral business to be registered with IPEC. And by the way, we only register insurance companies offering funeral insurance, and we do not regulate the service companies.
Okay.
Yes.
It is only the insurance, those who offer it as an insurance package.
Those who actually offer services of conducting a funeral. And this report to the Ministry of Health. But those who take premiums from members of the public, they are deemed to be running illegal funeral insurance business. Yeah.
How does one, for instance, do that due diligence to check these people want me to pay a premium? How do I actually know?
If a company is operating legally or not, they could check with us, but they could also visit our website, www.ipec.co.zw. They will see a list of all the licensed entities that they can do business with. Yeah.
The fact that these sort of operators exist does mean, or could speak to the fact that there is a gap in the market that they are filling. Do you then license them when you come across them, or why don't you just license them and ask them to regulate their affairs? Is that the approach?
We are very open. We are actually have a unit waiting to license these entities. They just need to come forward and meet the licensing requirements, and they are licensed to do business in the market. Yeah. We're actually waiting for them to come forward. Actually, some of those that have previously been operating illegally, through engagements, we've been able to encourage them to register, and now they are registered entities. Yeah. So it's possible that an illegal entity can actually convert to being a legal entity and operate business freely in the market.
Mrs. Siwela, any final message that you'd like to share? I mean, we've covered, I think, quite a lot that is very important. Market conduct, third party, vehicle third party. We've now just been talking about funeral policies and funeral insurance policies. Any message that you'd like to leave with the viewers, particularly with a view to just empowering them with knowledge to safeguard themselves?
Yes. First of all, policyholders should read and understand the policy terms and conditions before they sign up for the policy. That is very important, and it also avoids a lot of problems at the time of claims, because everything that the company, the insurance company will do is stated in the policy document. What we've found is that most people just take the policy document and pack it away. They don't read. They only read it at the time.
They look for it on the day when there's a problem. So
Yes.
where's that policy? But
Yes.
Yeah.
Secondly, I would encourage everyone to deal with licensed entities, because it makes things very easy where there are problems. Yes.
Indeed. Thank you so much for coming through. And I think it is fantastic that you shared those insights. Very valuable and very helpful. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And that does it for this edition of IPEC Forum. I think the key message here is get in touch with IPEC, visit the website, visit the offices, get in touch with them on all their digital and social media platforms so you can complain if there's a complaint. You can share insights and information with them. And if there are topics that you'd like us to cover on this platform, you can also do that on those channels. So do get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, do please stay informed and protect what matters most. I'm Farai Mwakutuya. Join me again next time.